There are things that has happened in people in younger years, their childhood, that could affect them all the way until their adulthood. And sometimes it's subconscious. They don't even know why they are the way they are. They don't even know why they do the things they do, why they feel the way they are. And I thought about that and I'm like, yo, that's me. That's me. And I'm gonna give you a little backstory, but ever since, I cut out alcohol, I've been very, very self aware of myself, self aware of my thoughts. I would have a negative feeling, then I would try to pinpoint, where that feeling is coming from. Why do I feel the way I do? Because I don't believe I have these thoughts in my head for no reason at all. I believe it stems from a place. So now I try to discover where is it stemming from. I literally became my own therapist. I became my own therapist, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful, crazy, crazy journey. But I realized I suffer from childhood abandonment issues. I have real, real bad abandonment issues, and it has affected me all the way into my adult life. It has affected my dating life and my social life. But I'm gonna give you a little backstory. Growing up, I spent a lot of time jumping from house to house, living with family members, aunties, uncles, and I was never abused or anything. But I have cousins, very cool cousins, but I always felt like I was treated differently. I always felt like I wasn't as loved because I wasn't one of their children. Yes, I was the nephew or, the cousin, but I always felt like the black sheep. And it caused me to like seclude myself a lot. I was never really around the group, the family group. I was always doing my own thing. I never really felt, you know, I mean, I was welcomed, but I didn't really felt like I was a part of the team, if that make any sense. So I spent a lot of my early years, being a loner, kind of doing my own thing, you know, and that was pretty much me. As I got older, like into my teen years, and I'm starting to date, and so on and so on, it kind of transitioned over to where now I would meet a girl, and she could be perfect. She could be a perfect 10, say the right thing, do the right thing. But I will always have this sort of commitment issue. As I, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, she's perfect, but I don't feel like I'm good enough for her. Or I feel like she will eventually see something in me that I see in myself and eventually leave. So I would naturally self sabotage myself to make her want to leave or break up or whatever. I would naturally, okay, like she getting a little too close. I feel like she liked me a little too much. Let me say this or let me do that so she could be like, hey, I'm out. So that was me growing up a lot because I'm like I had this abandonment thing. Like I feel like if she get to know the real me, she will eventually abandon me. And I never felt like I could truly be loved for who I am. I always felt like for me to be loved, I had to bring some type of external thing. I had to be useful. For me to be loved, I had to be useful. I couldn't just exist. There was no existing and being loved. That wasn't a thing for me. So back to what I was saying, like back to my family in my childhood, like for me to be a part of the team, to me to feel like I was a part of the family, I had to be useful in some way. There was no existing in, hey, this is my favorite cousin. No, I had to be useful. So then it carried on to friendships too. like I said, I'm a likable guy. I'm a loner by heart, but when I'm out in the world, out in the public, I can make friends like nobody's business. Like nobody's business. I like people. I really, really do like people. But I just have a fear of getting close to people. I have a fear of letting people get close to me. If we could be associates all day, all day and night. You feel me? If I see you, I see you. I say what's up. You say what's up. Maybe get a drink, and we go our separate ways. But like, you come over my place, I come over your place. Like, you know, how was your past? And like, I was never into talking about myself. I never like talking about myself. I'd rather talk about you before I talk about myself, because I didn't want people to really know me, to know anything about me, because I felt like if you know me, you wouldn't want to be around me. And not that I was a bad person, I just was so self conscious that if you got to know the real me, you would leave. So every relationship I ever had was surface level, just surface level. And that's how I picked up drinking. When I picked up drinking, like, you can hang out with somebody, you don't even have to know you don't even have to know their names. You don't have to know them from a can of paint. But you could go to a local bar and have a few drinks and have a good time. And you could go your separate ways and, come back again next Friday. So that's how I picked up drinking. And then I realized I never really had friends. I just had drinking buddies. Because when I stopped drinking, everybody disappeared. Everybody disappeared. Because they didn't understand, like, why all of a sudden out of the blue that I'm deciding to, put this down. This is how we bond. This is how we laugh. This is how we joke. This is how we, you know, without this element, without this middleman, there is no me and you. Because why else would we come together? Like, because at the end of the day, I don't know you and you don't know me, but this is how we, get together with alcohol. But I'm currently sober, so that should tell you that I'm no fun. I'm no fun at all to be around. So I don't have, you know, nobody around me, no friends, no nothing like that. So, but that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I'm completely used to being alone, but I do love people. But if I have to be alone, I just have to be alone. It's not the end of the world for me. I feel like God will put the right people in my life that, coincide with what I got going on now. But yeah, but back to what I was saying, like, I have real horrible, horrible abandonment issues. Like, I always think that I'm not good enough to be around somebody, or I'm not good enough to be with somebody. And it's something I really, really, really have to work on. Um, I've met a lot of beautiful women over the years, but when it comes to that commitment, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it because I know once I commit to you and you got to know me for who I really am, and not saying I'm a bad person, but I'm just self-conscious about you knowing me, you knowing my, my goofy side, or you knowing that, I like to be by myself a lot, or you knowing that, you know, I like to watch anime or whatever it may be. But I will always just self-sabotage myself. I gotta push you away before you push me away. That way you don't see that. You don't see what I see in myself. I know I'm all over the place with this, but yeah, it's something I really, really have to work on. But things that happen in your childhood could really, really, really change like the landscape of your adulthood, because I never really realized this was a problem until I got sober and I actually thought about this. I'm like, why do I keep pushing everybody away in my life? Why do I keep doing it? Why? It got to be a reason why. And then I think back. I think back to my childhood when I felt like I wasn't really welcomed. I wasn't really a part of the team. I wasn't really a part of the family because and how that made me feel and how I was by myself a lot and how I got comfortable being by myself and how that transitioned to me becoming an adult and navigating the dating world, the social world, but still like being by myself. Like I became like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like I'm scared of people leaving. I'm scared of people leaving me once they find out who I am. I'm scared of people. So it's hard for me to build bonds, build relationships. It's real difficult for me. But on a surface level, I'm the best person in the world. I'm the best person in the world. We could talk about music, movies, games, cars, shoes, stuff like that. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But like when you want to talk about like my childhood and my past and my relationship with certain people and like trying to know who I am and what I've been through, I'm like, hold on. Now you going a little too far now. You going? I don't need you to know me that well. Let's stick to the basic stuff. You know. So, and I know that I have to change that because one day I do want a wife, and obviously, for that to happen, you have to commit. You have to commit. So yeah, so I do. It's just some things I have to work on within myself to be the person I want to be, and I'm still working on it till this day. So yeah, like I don't know. I made this video because, like I said, I never know who I can help. I never know who's going through something similar. I never know if someone may feel the same way, and they need some reassurance that they're not alone. I never know. I never know. So life is crazy sometimes. I could help somebody right now. I could help somebody discover why they act the way they act because they might not know. They might be using certain substances to, run away from certain things. They can't pinpoint where it's coming from. So it might watch this video and be like, hey, okay, that kind of happened to me. I felt like because I know there's a lot of black sheeps in the world. I know there's a lot of black sheeps in the world, and yeah, that's how I am till this day. Like I don't have no friends. I've pushed a lot of my family members away. It's just me. Like it's just me because I have a fear of people coming and leaving. But that's life. In life, people come and people go. People come and people go. So I can't, or I shouldn't, fear that. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. It's something I'll eventually, fix within myself, get over within myself. But as of right now, I'm just working on it. And me documenting it, the process of me working on it I believe that would help me. So, like I said, right now, I'm my own therapist. I ask myself the questions and I answer my own questions. And I, and I find my own solutions. So, I, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you're going through something similar, you're not alone. But thank you. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, I'll see y'all again. Peace.